Databorg. Better data, smarter AIs. Think of us, of the guys that are selling the shovels in the gold rush. Let me introduce you to my team. Professor PhD Axel Ngonga, who's a literal genius and a scientist with a lot of awards and publications under his belt, as well as PhD Tim Milov, who's a great engineer, bringing to life all this great technology, as well as myself, Fabio Chiaramonte, startup professional, and our great FlyX venture studio supporting us on our way. Databorg will become the #1 provider of high-quality data for AI and solve the garbage in, garbage out problem. Like regardless what kind of AI, machine learning, business intelligence you're going to use in the future, it all comes down to data quality. Any AI can only be as good as the data it relies on. That's just a given fact. So we talk about the garbage in, garbage out problem, even in science. The problem is that there's too much unstructured, poor quality data around. It's scattered across various silos, it's not connected, and usually it's not in any format that can be used with AI or machine learning at all. It's just a reality in companies that the data they have is in poor condition and poor shape to be used, and yeah, going forward from here, just leveraged in some way. So, and at times it's just too much to then manually correct it. So here comes the solution. You throw your data at Databorg and we return you with a beautiful knowledge graph. No humans required in the middle. That's why we consider us the data middleware for companies. We are outperforming any comparable solution on the market by magnitudes. Well, it's not the next someone adopts ChatGPT for his own matters thing. No, it's a deep tech technology built from ground up, right? And one thing that makes us very special, just to mention it upfront, is the data integration part. Taking basically crappy data and turning it into something usable and good that will enable the companies then to create better AIs, better business intelligence, better digital twins, recommendations, predictions, and decision making. How was it possible to do so? You might ask yourself, right? So how could we be that much better and faster? Because we built everything from ground up in 15 years of development in research and development. And that's basically the result of this journey, now coming to life and gaining in importance due to the latest hype in AI, where this now really is, people see why it matters. Look, on performance-wise, while current technologies might only understand 40 different entity types, we understand over 4,000. While current technology will take 1 month to compute stuff, we will take 1 day. That's why I say outperforming by magnitude, not even talking about the accuracy that we just outperform, because we are also a lot more accurate. And why that matters, being more accurate, you might ask. So nowadays, even your taxi driver will talk about ChatGPT, and most of the people will also have figured out that ChatGPT might give false answers. So if you ever would want to rely with your business on any ChatGPT things, don't. It's a language model. It doesn't actually know anything. So putting how going to from a false output to a true output, that happens when you put knowledge underneath your large language model or whatever AI application you're going to build. And suddenly your AI application will be reliable, accurate, explainable, compliant, and also secure. That's why knowledge management matters, and the very direct effect of knowledge management. It can also do a lot more than just chatbots, but that's what the people will understand, because nowadays everybody wants to adopt it. So what can Databorg offer your company? Basically, what we created a stack of various modules which do different things. One part is the input. We extract the data, we extract the knowledge, and then integrate it into a larger knowledge base. We can extract data from web, from documents, from databases, from audio, from video, from machine data. And here happens the magic that makes Databorg so special. Machine learning will automatically recognize the pattern in this data and map it out then first in weak knowledge graphs and then fuse it together and link it together in a large, huge knowledge graph that you can then query and ask questions over this holistic view that you suddenly get over all your data. So if you're not familiar with knowledge graphs, back in the days, let's say back in the days, when you store a string or a sentence in a database, when you search for it, you will only find this information you searched for because it's there in the database. So what happens when we do this kind of data extraction with Databorg? So you first extract the knowledge from the string. You start understanding things, not just strings. We understand that this is a person we are now talking about, a person relation, and then it will be mapped out in a graph with a lot of other entity types. And suddenly you get different, you have the opportunity to understand a lot of connections that you could not understand before if you would have just stored the string. And what you have currently, and the most, all the bots are using, chatbots and your BI, they are using strings and can only understand what this one source of information is telling them. Mapping it all out into a knowledge graph will give you an increased opportunity to understand correlations. Now, not only we can improve your data and bring your data in such a shape that you are able to understand all this complexity, we can also enrich your data and make it even better by bringing and throwing into the mix external data from, let's say, the web or some other source. And suddenly we are enriching your data set with additional information that you can then use for whatever you want, chatbots or some kind of visual representation, business intelligence, how you like. Well, Databorg works quite simple or similar to Amazon or AWS or Google. We charge an amount for the credits. Well, you charge your account with credits, and then you use different amounts of those credits for example, entity recognition, knowledge graph generation, or the chatbot. Very notable here is our algorithms are so efficient that we have most of the time 90% of margin. Just maintaining the same price spectrum like the big players like Google, Amazon, and so on are doing, we have 90% of margin on our services. We have already traction with existing clients doing like 15 grand a month in recurring revenue. There's more and more people flocking to us looking to get an integration done. So with this latest spike in AI interest due to the ChatGPT, I would say revolution here, resulted at our end with a sales backlog with over 1 million. And suddenly big players and large corporates knocking our door. Yeah, let's see how that goes through. We believe that we have a great future here. And the bigger and the larger a corporate is, the more clear to them and the more present the problem they have with unstructured data is to them usually. That's our experience here. Looking at the competition, there is, well, at least in the terms of data integration, there is no competition. We have been 20 years in the space, research and industry and knowledge management, knowledge integration, and in terms of knowledge integration, there is nothing comparable we would know about. In terms of storing structured data and interacting with it, for example, there are other examples like Pinecone. They use a vector database technology, which is also good, producing better results than just LLMs. But for example, Pinecone, the vector databases, it's a black box. It's not explainable. You don't know where these answers come from. That's something we can do a lot better. And Pinecone just secured 100 million in seed funding now in the US. And there's other examples too. And we believe we can become one of the most important players for quality data. And we want to make this happen, to make data made in Europe in a secure and compliant and performant way, make that a reality. So if you want to be part of this, we are raising angel funding. We are looking to raise 500K from angels and additional 700K from VCs. In order to be able to leverage those VCs, we need to close that angel round first. That's why we are looking to now attract investors that preferably have a strong DNA in sales and maybe data. And yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, please feel free to just get in touch with me, drop me a mail, even just call me. And just be said, we have also a pooling vehicle in place you can use if you want to contribute even smaller tickets. This is also an opportunity we have prepared. So there is an SPV you can use to invest with smaller tickets and become part of our journey. So in any case, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out. And for now, thank you for your attention and hopefully see you soon.